Hello everyone and welcome back to Having Fun Repairs, and today we're going to be looking at one of these controllers for the Nintendo Switch. It's got a button issue. Now, to demonstrate the exact issue, I want you to first, if it's audible, listen to the clicking of this controller. And then we can see, corresponding to the TV, that when I click it, that button registers. Now I'm picking up this other controller. It's kind of already flushing down. It's not clicking. So let me clear out this with a bunch of R's. And then again, not a whole lot of registering. Now if I press really hard, I can get it to come up. But it's not. So that tells me that the button more than likely is good, but there's something else going on here. And we should figure out why that is. Why I don't have that tactile action that I should have. Such as like with the other buttons. And see what we can do to repair it. Okay, so I'm trying something new today. New setup in my office. I used to have to manually put picture in picture for many different things, from my microscope that I purchased not long ago. I did a lot of recording on a cell phone, which I'll probably still use for recording things external to my desk, but now I have a nice Logitech C922 Pro streaming camera. Shoots full HD. It's not 4K. It's got internal microphones built in, but you know, they're going to pick up a lot of ambient noise, so I've got myself kind of a little cheap headset microphone, hopefully to reduce some of that ambient noise and focus on the things I'm hoping to get into my videos here. But welcome back to Having Fun Repairs. And obviously we got this controller sitting in front of us, and we're going to need to break it down and figure out why you hear me tapping on this, but it's not clicking. There is no clicking. What's going on with this controller? See if we can get it repaired. I don't think this is going to be a super in-depth repair. This hopefully is a very simple thing, but let's get this broken down. Okay, so it appears as if we've immediately found a cause here. The spring popped out right as I was opening it up. See if I can get the camera to focus a bit. There we go. And then this little black tab piece fell out as well. It's in right here. And it appears as though that came off of the actual trigger. So more than likely it's the trigger that broke. And I should be able to remove this, and we'll see if we can get it repaired good enough. I'm going to use a 2-part epoxy on this guy, set it up for several hours, and then hopefully we can reinstall it and make this trigger function the way it should. talk about a extremely fiddly thing trying to get this out of this with these little locking tabs here on the bottom end of it, here and here. A little bit difficult to get out of this channel here and here. And then went pinging off, and anytime something pings off I get a little bit startled. But these pieces definitely marry up to one another, so should be able to two-part epoxy this, maybe tack it with a little bit of super glue as well, and get it fixed on up. So I actually didn't realize this, but I had my microphone set up in the first part of this video to the camera that I have right here. You can see me touching it and the screen shaking a bit. I now have it set to my head mic, so we'll see what the difference sounds like. And even though this one's going to pick up a lot more ambient noise, maybe it's just as clear, but this video will be a test of that. I mixed up my two-part epoxy and put this under the microscope, and we are able to get a nice bead of glue down on here, and it's going to need some time to set up, so be stepping away for a bit just to get this. Allow this some time to dry. If I can, wonder how I can get this camera to focus better up close. Wonder if it will allow me. Seems to be right there is a good spot. But we'll allow this some time to dry and come back to this and put it all back together. Well, we've allowed a day to pass, and it appears that this guy has cured well enough. It's feeling pretty solid. We can put it back up underneath the microscope and just take a look at it. The two-part epoxy on the paper is really dry, so I think it's safe to put this back together, but we can take a look at it underneath the microscope real quick and make a small assessment, and then we can put this controller back together. It looks like we've got good adhesion. Now this two-part epoxy I put in between the two pieces. So there's two-part epoxy that has been adhered eternally, and then I used a little metal wire, as you saw in the video, to kind of coat the external as well. So we have a good bit of surface area with epoxy on it to hopefully increase the bond strength and give us good adhesion. And that is looking pretty good to me. I think it's time for a reassembly. there we have it back together. Through that quick montage, because I'll speed up that last section. I had to pull out my Dremel quite a bit because of the added girth on that plastic piece here, because of the two-part epoxy. With the tolerance between this and the clamshell, it was forcing the button, the plastic piece, inward like this. So I had to carefully sand that down with the Dremel tool in order to relieve the button from being depressed by the clamshell. But it still held up really good, and you can hear that. It's clicking now, which is good. And just so you know, if I press the button down, you can see that it's trying to sync up with the console in the other room. So, why don't we take it over there and test it out. Make sure everything's functional and working as it should be. Okay, you got the controller. And now let's test this back one. Awesome. Oh, it looks like they're all working, and got a nice audible click on that. I'll say this is good to go. Yay! We got a little bit of bonus content for today. Some packages came in the mail. It's gonna be a bit hard for me to do this one-handed. Hold on a second. Alright, from Alltronics LLC. This appears to be the isolation transformer I've had on order for a while. Let me finish getting them unboxed. Hey, want some bubble wrap? Get it! She's got that nicely built new electronic transformer smell going on to her. 5-amp fuse on back. I don't have it plugged in. Notice that there is a earth third prong here, but it's a 2-prong cord that will go into the outlet on the wall. That's because we're going to draw commercial power, you know, the same power that everybody gets to their household into the back. Should be isolated from our outputs on the front. That ground will come from independent source. I have to run some rods into the earth outside of a window in my bedroom. Then I can feed a ground internal to my house. That's no big deal. Let's see if she's actually fully isolated. And can I get this, all this into the shot? Okay. Multimeter on resistance. On off doesn't seem to make a difference here. Check the other pin. Not getting anything here. I got this seated far enough in. Let's try this side. Nope. Okay. Okay, well, pretty happy. Not getting anything there. And check that earth ground. Seems to be isolated there as well. We'll probably tear this down and just inspect the internals in another video before powering it up. But hey, nice isolation transformer, which you will need. Yeah, now I got that all the way in. Yeah, let's make sure on-off switch doesn't change anything, which it shouldn't, but nice. Nice, nice, nice. Just make sure there's nothing on this guy either. Nice. Yeah. Cool. Me likey. What else we got? Let's see what box number 2 is. Okay, and for item number 2, we got this good old beefy Variac for adjusting an input voltage of 110 volts AC at 60 hertz, output 0 to 130 volts AC. Woo, 20 amp fuse. Awesome sauce, awesome sauce. Variac, not to be confused with a rheostat. 2 different functions. 2 different purposes in their function as well. Obviously, we're not going to be isolated on this guy. It will go into our isolation transformer. Awesome. But we might take the shell off of it and look at it too. Definitely need to look at it. Going to go over to the transformer. More likely this guy is ready to go out of the box. But cool. Now all I gotta do is build myself a dim bulb tester, and we can get to work on some old 2-base radios. And if I could get the intelligence for it, might venture off into some TV repair, but this at least gets us radios, and that's primarily my bread and butter, although I've never worked on 2-base ones. We're going to get some practice in, and then hopefully not blow up the house. Wife might not like that. Question: do pink elephants like pink peanuts? Well, ladies and gents, that's all I've got time for today. Not an electronic repair per se, but still a repair on an electronic device. If you've enjoyed what we are doing on this channel, then please consider subscribing and sharing. Like if you want to. Obviously those things don't really matter much, but like I say, I really enjoy the comments you put down in the comment section and being able to engage with each of you. And hopefully you found this video entertaining. With that being said, take care. Bye.